How's it going, everybody? It's 3 o'clock. It's a sunny Wednesday, and what the hell is everybody in sculpting for? Should be outside enjoying the sun, but actually I was outside and bizarre, not blue sky, not an aeroplane in sight. So lads, today, what I'm going to start off. Well, I've started already, and what I'm going to start with is I just felt to get this neck right, his huge neck. I needed to put in the neck, and I felt that I need to get that done, so I could sort of work on. And as I'm just going to turn that down, as I usually do, I work on the right hand side. A lot of people will work on the right or left hand side, but I thought it was handy that you would see, because a lot of people are saying, what's the armature made out of? And the armature, doing these, like anything like this, what I would start off with would be a side profile. And you can see, can you see it? No. We can. Side profile there, and then I have a front profile in front. I have the side and front profiles all around me here. So I cut out it out of NDF, a side profile, and a front profile, and then splice them together in an X. Now you probably can't see that anymore, but you can see there's the side profile, and there's this other X here. That's front profile. Now, what I think everybody possibly can get that much so far. Then what I did on top of that was tinfoil. Now you can see tinfoil here, and what I find handy about it is I will sculpt with the tinfoil. I put the tinfoil onto the armature, and I don't bother with hot glue or anything like that. Just use clay. Now just be careful with the clay. But I need it warm. Well, I need it more than warm. I need it. Well, I don't want it hot. If it's glossy, it's really hot, and it'll burn. It'll burn you. So what I do is I essentially glue the tinfoil all together with hot clay, and you can see there there's a support there. You can even see in there there is a piece of the tinfoil roll, and that's just holding it up. And these are all temporary. I will make a better support system, but what I like to do is just whack it on, get the shape right, cover it with clay. There's only about 5 minutes of clay on this. When the clay hardens, you will you get a coat on it, and then you can actually manipulate it. It's a little bit awkward at the beginning because it's flipping and flopping all over the place. And the part of this neck was wrong, and I was busting into that. Sweat was pouring out of me to this morning, lads, thinking, oh, this is going to be absolutely crap. Coming 3 o'clock, and you see there's cracks all over the place. So we whacked into this. Everything was falling down, so I propped it up. Again, these props are temporary because I still need to move this around a little bit. And what I can do, what's really handy with the tinfoil, with the clay on top, is that you can bust it from up from underneath, and you can sculpt it, or you can push it down. There's a bit of I'm trying to get the collarbone in here at the minute, and I have to move it up and then to move it down. Now, people were asking me what I use for reference. Well, I was using this fella for reference for around the anatomy of here, and I was going, Christ, that's really small. So I forgot I had these actually. I used these, or I used to use them. I don't use them anymore. They make me own. This fella here. So so that's a full size life cast. But that there I bought from Neil's Materials, and it's a bust, so you can sculpt on top of it. Has keys on it. I don't know if you can see that. It has keys on it, so you can actually use them to create a mask, or I use them to create busts. But he is anatomically correct, so I brought him down. And what's really nice about the scale, no, I didn't think about it too much, but the scale I'm using is 2 to 1, so it's twice human size. So there or thereabouts. But when I brought the images into Photoshop, I literally just doubled it up. So it is 2:1. So what's handy, and that's what I'm doing now, I'm blocking this out. And there's bits that are wrong. Down here is wrong. Probably needs to come back up a little bit. And then around the collarbone, it needs to sink in a little bit. I don't have the collarbone on at the minute. I'm just waiting for clay to heat up. But what's really handy is I either use this or I'll use the end ruler. And can we see? Yeah, we can. So what I'm doing is with the collarbone on this fella is just about here. Now I don't have any images of Beckett showing his collarbone. That's not something he did. I hope he's all got a good laugh out of the stuff I posted. I think it was yesterday. Jeez, the days are gone. Of Beckett in the 1970s. Sort of trailer. If you haven't seen it, have a look. It's actually very good, very well put together. But it's a bit of crack. So what's handy about this is I can literally go up to the collarbone and I go to the chin and literally whatever measurement I have, I multiply it by 2 because it's 2:1. For people who have, who find maths difficult, it's easy. That's why I made it like this, because it's just easy. Now, obviously, if it's 1:1, it's the life size. It's the same 1:1. It's the same size. This here, that is life size, so that's 1. This here is twice the size, so it's 2. So this is 2 times bigger than that. I hope everybody understood that, but I know people have a difficulty with maths. So and I wanted to make it easier on myself. So that there, I know that the collarbone was there. So what I'm going to do is build that up, and yeah, there's bits here that are wrong. But if I work with this, and then I'm going to have to push this out. Push this bit out of it. But if I can get this ready down at the bottom, get the collarbone done. Get these muscles going into the collarbone, and I did it yesterday. Now there's lines all over the place, but what I was doing yesterday was using this fella here, and he's pretty good. He's small. I'd love a bigger one. Now probably we should make one. The muscle structure. Get the muscle structure in right. Even draw lines. It's a little bit wrong in here. This is right, but it comes a little bit too far out, so we're going to have to push that back in. If you were looking or were with me a wee while ago, I was saying the actual cross of the armature is a bit there and stops a bit there and was coming out here, and I was going, that's not right. That didn't feel right. It was right for here, but not right for here. I didn't think about that at the very beginning of making the armature. So literally the only thing I have, lads, at the minute is, where is it going? And this is 16 mil MDF, and I cut that 16 mil MDF down with that fella there, Stanley knife, and I tell you, it's already hot out there, so it was very hard getting that cut out, but I got it cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working in collarbone and build that up, and I'm going to use, I'll show you a tool that I'm going to use as well. Now, excuse the music. I like working to music. I always work to music, but what I have discovered is on these lives that if I play music, this is how naive I was. Facebook sends me a lovely message saying that you're breaching copyright laws. So what we're hearing now is music. Well, it's music, but it's copyright free. So how is everybody? Give me a thumbs up or give me a wave or whatever. You say we're going to have too many people here today. It's way too nice to be doing this crack. We should be outside in our gardens or on a balcony, or even window open. Hi Natalia. Paddy Hine, what's the story? Keith, Aidan, my God, loads of people. So lads, I put a competition out this morning. You might have seen that. That has gone mental. I wasn't expecting it to go as mental as it has. I was doing a tutorial on last Friday with the character maker people from IADT. Some of them are already here. So Ben, you got your gardening done this morning. Fair play. How yeah? Who's that? Natalia, how is it going? So what was I talking about? Tools, yeah. So I showed them. I can't show you now because all this setup is a pain in the backside. I am getting a better setup. I actually invested in the proper light because the light above me that's shining on this is one that I robbed out of a bedside lamp. So I'm getting one of those round things. But over there, I've set up and I'm about to. There's enough material there to make, I'd say, about 100 tools. I made the first lot and I said, check, why don't we, there's loads of people who would want them. So these are the ones that I've made, these ones here. And people who know me will be familiar with them things. Yeah. And there's 3 tools, but on each tool there's 2 loops. So these are loop tools. So so out of the 3 tools you get 6 loops. And so look at the post, share it, comment on it, and tag. I think I said 3 people into it. Get you to do some work, lads. And I made a mistake. Don't know how I did that. Tired this morning, but I'll announce the winner next Wednesday. No, September. I don't know who did that. Paddy, you're hiding from the. Yeah, Paddy, you're way too clear. You can't be heading that son. So, what I'm trying to do is build up the collarbone, and like you really only understand. Like this is cool, this is lovely. The work on that, and that's big. But when you start working on things like ears, absolutely humongous. Then you start working on trying to get a neck, a chest, a collarbone area. That there really indicates how bloody massive this is. And I'm into my last box of clay. So I don't know what's going to happen when that's gone. Because we can't even get fucking flour over here. So this one here, when I get enough clay on, what I'm going to use this tool is, I love it. It's the lemon zester, and this here I wouldn't necessarily use it for small detail stuff, but for this big stuff, it's brilliant, and because it rips into it really, really quickly, but there's loads of control on it. So what we use it is cash. Now, I prefer to have other music on, but I can't have music on, as I said, because of royalties. So didn't think about that. Peter O'Brien, how is it going with you? You're not the person I expected to be watching me. I suppose you'll be familiar with this fella here. Siobhan, what's the story? Well, I'm trying to build up. I don't even know if you can see this. There you can. I'm trying to build up this collarbone. Now, this whole area is fairly big. It's a bit too big at the back here, but as I said, this here is only about that thick around here. So I'm going to work here, make this absolutely solid. Then I can bend and shape this, and all of this here in here will be temporary. And what I've discovered is that I'm running out of space. Every time I make this bigger, I run out of space, working space. My mate Sammy is very chubby. He won't sue me. It's not him that's going to sue me. It's Facebook. I don't get it on Instagram, but I got it on Facebook saying that Warner Brothers and Sony Studios are not really happy with you because you've been broadcasting their music and not paying them. So I better not keep doing that. But I'm sure Sammy won't sue me at all. So Benny, you finished your project. So lads, what I'm working on is the anatomy of collarbone in here, and I'm using that as reference. That other small thing is it's way too small to wreck my head. But Beckett, I've done a lot of research, and you don't see, you see a typical Beckett has a polo neck on it. Or suit. You don't see anything. No, still going. Well, I would have thought so. It's like your project's pretty there's a lot to it. So I don't know about you lot lads, but when I'm finished this, I'm going outside into that sun. Spent two and a half hours yesterday sorting out my bees. So I'm very happy about the videos. Nice and sunny. I'm seeing a lot of new faces today. Say hi lads. Tell me if you're working on anything. Or just here for a go. I put out a competition today, so a lot of the people, I wasn't expecting that. A lot of people, and new people that I don't know, want me tools. Don't be afraid, Now I know I'm working at the bottom. Hey, Kaylin, what's the story? Kaylin, your images of that character are lovely. I still think you should make a puppet. Trying to get this collarbone ready, right, lads. And I have to. This is my second attempt. My first attempt, luckily, is not on camera, and this isn't right fully yet. So what I'm going to do is, I had the armature. I had to rip it out completely, because it was up here, and the collarbone was down here. So I was trying to sculpt it with this piece of wood in the way, so I just lobbed it off with a Stanley knife. That was an adventure. So this is what I'm thinking. God knows, I don't know how long we're going to be here. So decided to jump over to digital and try Blender to see what it's like. Well, I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But as you can see, this is taking my time. And actually, every time I look at social media, there's a free course here and a free course there. What a time to be wanting to learn stuff. Brilliant. So I was thinking. Now it's going to take me a wee while to do this. I was thinking of taking a little bit of a break from this fella, and I was thinking of doing that if there was a bunch of people out there that wanted to do a class together with me, and not like this, that we work together. What I'm thinking of doing is probably, let me see, work it out. I have one here. Now, is it probably a third scale skeleton? So what I'm going to do is I get the reference. I'll email it to people who are interested in doing it. And there's probably going to, I'm not too sure when I'm going to be able to do this, but I have to plan it out first. So when I've planned it out fully, I'll just give you this pre-warning. So what I would like to do is sculpt a skull. So if you can sculpt a skull, you can sculpt. I know you're in, Paddy. You told me that already. You're very enthusiastic. I love it. I love it. So this is a full-size skull, and I think, let me see, am I right? Yeah, so 21, so either probably a third scale or maybe a little bit bigger. So that's not going to take a lot of clay. And what I'll do is, put him down so it doesn't get wrecked. What I'll do is I'll do a frontal reference, a left reference, and a side reference. So what I suggest is, so it's quick and easy, we can do half a skull, or maybe a little bit more than that. So it'll protrude out of, we need a piece of board. So if people are interested, send me a message. I know I have one person, Paddy. So send me a message if people are interested in doing that, and I will do up a profile, front, two sides, and what I'll do it in a PDF, so that I'm hoping you can print it, so that whatever you print will be the right scale. So if you want to do it, send me a message. I'm going to put a post together. And what would be cool is, instead of you just watching me and talking, doing this thing, which is possibly, well, I've been at this age, so it's possibly beyond some people to do at the minute. So what we could do is actually sculpt a skull together. Now, if you can sculpt the skull and you get the skull, the anatomy of the skull right, then you all and get the proportions right. Then you can flesh that out with muscle. Then you can flesh that out with skin. Then you can flesh that out with whether it be old age or even understanding the skull. You can warp it then, and or understanding the skull, you can warp it, and you can warp it with an animal skull. How do you want to use those? So send me a message if you're interested in that. Send me a message. You're going to need a little bit of clay. It doesn't matter if it is Shivant, which is this, or actually, you could do it in digitally. You can import what I'm going to give you and do it that way if you wanted. But you're going to need a little bit of clay, about, let's say, quarter or third scale. You need a block of Shivant anyway. Block Shivant, to your door would probably cost you €20, and you're going to need some tools as well. Now, there's some people out there that are going to get the tools next Wednesday. So if you want tools for free, enter the competition that I'll put out. And those tools are for people who don't know me, they're the tools that I use all the time. I make them myself, and I've made them myself as well. And I'm going to make a lot more of them as well. Now, the other ones, they're for the classes that I do. Give them all away for nothing. So if you're interested in sculpting the skull, it'll take a wee while, but lads, sort out. So bear with me, and I'll send you a PDF, and you have the clay, and then we'll set up some time together, and probably like this. Other people can watch if they want. Won't be able to do a massive amount of people, but have to think about that. Have to think about like it'd be really fun to do a Zoom class or something like that, so I can actually see your sculpts. But if you can't do that, you can send me your images anyway. So what I want to do is get that muscle, massive muscle up here, get that right. Now, what I'm going to have difficulty with is that it actually comes out here. So I'm going to have, if I want that, I have to add on some print file. So I'm just going to play with this for you. I see a lot of new faces. Welcome, lads. If you don't know what the hell I'm doing, what I decided to do a couple of weeks ago, I was making him anyway. This is what I was doing to keep saying in isolation. I sent out a video of me sculpting it, and a lot of people got back saying they really enjoyed watching the process. So this is Beckett, and we're calling these sessions every Wednesday and Saturday at 3. Feck It with Beckett. So, because Feck It, lads, we have to do something, keep ourselves sane, and there's no point in wallowing. So I'll be going out every Wednesday and every Saturday doing this and more. So what have we done? People are asking how to make tools. I've done that. And people are asking how to make a hair punching needle. I've done that. So you find that all up on Instagram and Facebook. So if there's anything else that you would like me to cover, send me a message. Don't forget to say hello, lads. Now, I've had a few people on to me saying, I really want those tools that I've put up for a competition. And I go, I'm delighted you do. I think I have one girl. I haven't looked at the message. Hello. I have one girl, and it's her birthday today, so happy birthday. But there's no bias and there's no preferential treatment. I have 2 people next door, my kids, and they're going to pick the winners next Wednesday, and they're all extremely excited about that. They get the power. Now this anatomy, I want to get the anatomy right, but it's not going to be exactly what Beckett is. I don't know what he looked like with the bare shoulder. That needs to come up. So what's handy about this is you can push on the leash and push it out. It will crack. Like there, you can see it cracking. But then once you put clay on it again, fill the crack, we go solid again. And then I'll structure this up. You can see now why I don't want to make this solid yet. I need to get my hand in there, and I need to sculpt it, push it, and maybe I need to push it back in a wee while. Don't know. Play with it. I'd like you to cover how you grow up. I'm really how you grow up. Paddy, you no point in asking me. You know me. I haven't grown up yet. Holly Eve Kane. What's the story? I haven't talked to you in ages. Don't worry about growing up. It's not all it's meant to, it's talked about or meant to be. Stay throwing axes. If you haven't seen Paddy throwing axes, go onto his site or his Instagram. No. So you see me flip my head, lads, back and forth. What I'm doing is I'm trying to match that head that's over there. So, Holly, how's everything in Belfast? Lads, that's getting shiny and glossy. When it gets shiny and glossy, it might be too hot. It gets really hot. Be very careful with it. There. I find when I sketch or paint, I always find it hard to capture the character. I always put myself in the character. Do you find symmetry difficult or proportioning the sculpture hard? I do. But one thing you have to remember is reference. So I spent a lot of time before starting this, and you can see them on the wall. There's more. You can't see them all. And I spent a lot of time working on reference in Photoshop. So trust the reference. Spend the time on the reference and trust the reference. Use rulers. Use no, we're talking about symmetry now. We're not talking about likeness. And if you trust it, measure it, and measure it, keep measuring it. And there are key points that you can measure: the tip of the nose, tip of the chin, eye sockets, ear, tip, and within these huge ears. There are key points all around the face, all around the body that you can use as reference and sort of cornerstones to say, yeah, but that's right, so that must be right. So if that's right, this bit isn't. Trust in the reference. Yeah, it is hard though. But actually, my ma showed me this thing yesterday, and it's a thing I made years ago, and I did a portfolio course, and that is fucking thing. I did a portfolio course, and she showed me an image that I did, and I did portraits for a project. Self-portraits because I've nobody talked. It's a lot easier doing self-portraits. Stick a mirror in front of you and you can do it. And what I found was practice. I don't know if that answers your question. Do you have any photos of the head before you added the clay? No, I don't. I fucking don't. Somebody's at Megan is asking. Megan, what else is he saying? I don't have it, and you're not the first person to ask. And I wish I did take. I didn't think I was going to do. Didn't know I was going to do this. That I was going to go live and show people. Open myself up to criticism. but it's actually very simple, very simple. I've said this a few times, but it's not hard to do. You see there is NDF, and you can see at the back there's an NDF. So what you do is, and do you do this all? I do this all the time. Whether I'm this size, small size, or massive Mockness gig, I would do it for them. And I do a side profile and I do a front profile. Now, if there's detail on the back, I'll do that as well. Generally, it's the front. Generally, it's the side. And I will with these, because I'm working from center out. Mockness, I'm working from block in. But I always spend time with profiles. And then with these, the MDF, I cut literally, you can see Beckett there. So I cut that shape out. So I know that and I cut it a little bit smaller. So when you see the ridge of the nose, I know that I have to add on just a little bit of clay onto that to build up that profile. Same with the side profile. Or the front profile, sorry, going around, I only have a little bit of clay. Now, the difficulty is that's the easy bit. The difficulty is here and here, because you tend to go very big here. The chin, now you have to get used to sculpting mouths, but if you look, trust the reference, and from the tip, go back, and this is one area here in the lips, people don't back enough. They're afraid to go back. And what I did on top of the MDF, and you can see it there. That's no, I haven't sculpted this yet, but that's tinfoil. And I just want to say, have a look. You can see that that's just the front profile. Then you pack in the tinfoil on it, and I literally sculpt with tinfoil. How do you get the tinfoil to stick? How do you get it to stay on? You put another layer on, another layer. You can hot glue it. I don't like hot gluing it. I just use the wax and build it up in layers. So unfortunately, I don't have a photograph of the armature. I wish I did, but I hope that explained it. Now, another way that you could do it, and this is what I was actually thinking of doing, but then we ended up in quarantine. And I've been thinking about doing Beckett for a long time. And since 2014, I made a sculpt with Paddy Hoyne, and he was Crom, and that's where this fella came from. Who's that person? Paper. Do you ever use hessian and wire fencing to build up now? You could do that, absolutely. It's the same principle as the tinfoil. The reason the reason I like using the tinfoil as opposed to, like, I could use chicken wire to rough out that shape. The problem is the clay. That when you push the clay through, it falls in. And Orla, what she does, she puts. I've seen her put in. Well, what's there? Newspaper or sugar paper. Stuff it on the inside. Now, what I like to do is use tinfoil, so that I literally would cover the tinfoil like that. Chicken wire tends to fall through the chicken wire, and so I don't really use it. Is that my question? Do you need drawings the same scale? Yes. Do you need drawings the same scale? Well, no, you don't. You don't need drawings the same scale. But what do you want to do? What do you want to keep on doing? Like, if I had, can we see that image? Yeah. If I had him that size there, now it's actually a really good reference of him, and I keep going back to him for some reason. It's just really nice. But I want to make a 2:1, 2 times. That's 1. That's real size. This is 2, double real size. That there is probably, I don't know, maybe half of size. So what I would have to do is I'd be using that reference there. I would use the calipers and I would multiply everything by half of 4, if that makes sense. That to me, I can do, but it's a lot easier, a hell of a lot easier when you're looking at the wall. And I mean, when I'm finished with these lives, what I do is I look, Aaron, how's it going? Um, when I finish the lives, what's really useful for me, I will look back through these, and when I'm moving this fella around, I will actually see him in relate. You can actually can't see it, but I can from this point of view. I have another camera from that side, and I can see Beckett there, and I say, oh, that's not right, so I can work in on it. Whereas if you're working on a reference that's smaller than it, you can, but it's just that little bit harder, and you have to keep measuring. But I'll always measure anyway. But with this, I'm literally going up to the reference, like that ear is that size. Don't have to think about it. It is that size. Simple. This one here, the white one, all I have to do is multiply it by 2 because it is life size and this is double size. That answers the question. Aaron, I haven't seen you in, I don't fucking know. Actually, I was thinking about you the other day, and the reason why I was thinking about you is that, and I put it out on Facebook. And do you remember going to see Bobby McFerrin? I remember going, and I think it was you. I think if I'm, tell me if I'm right. You did go and see him because if you're not, I was thinking about you, and it might be it was the wrong person. But I think it was you. So myself and my kids were in here, and we were listening to Bobby McFerrin the other day. Brilliant. Yeah. So I'm literally looking at that reference there, and that reference is life size. I'm trying to mimic that reference and build the clay up to get the shoulder. Martha, what's the story? Now the problem with tinfoil a little bit, and I had to bust into the MDF armature. The reason why I had to bust in because I put the the front profile, which is here, in the wrong place. I should have put it here, but anyway, it works. So I hacked into it. We were standing. Hi, Mary. What's the story? So lads, I'm down to my last block, not block, last box of clay. Very sad. And I'm hoping, Jesus, if it doesn't, I don't know what the hell I've been doing. I'm hoping that I will be able to finish Beckett. Get that box. John Mooney, you're another man I haven't seen in a long time. I think it was Foxford the last time I saw you. There's an element with this. I know and I keep apologizing for it, but I'm well, actually, put there and see what I do. Trying to sculpt, and for you to be able to see as well as for me to be able to see the next one possible. Now, that is, it's a bump there, it shouldn't be there. So, what I'm going to use, if I find it, this thing here. It's a lemon zester, and it creates a unbelievable mess. But it's fantastic for sculpting. And what I'm trying to do, because what you don't see is below my feet, and these floors are oak floors and they're covered in clay. So I'm trying to be a little bit neat and put the excess clay that I pull off and put it into the cup. Now, don't underestimate, those things are bloody sharp, but they do get a little bit clogged. And if they get clogged, you're just dragging clay around the place, and you're just cutting into clay and cutting into clay, mashing clay into clay. So just keep it, you keep it clear, you see the holes. Now, this is brilliant for getting it nice and smooth, because it's a little bit undulating at the minute. So I'm going to cover it, and this is exactly the same as I said before. You drag it, and you'll see a highlight or a white bit, that you've cut the top off it, and then you see a dark bit. That's where you haven't cut into it all. And when everything becomes roughly the same color, it's a little bit off, but a little pinky on this clay. It leveled. And this goes out too far, so I'm going to lob into it, and I'm going to probably meet some tin foil. So if I am going to meet some tin foil, what I do is hit it with that, and then it looks aggressive. Sorry, Ben. Will Beckett be going to in a shear? Is in a shear happening this year? Well, we in Loch lads, we do an exhibition called Crew, and we've gone out. I think the last, I could be wrong, Paddy, you can tell me. The last two years, is it 2 or 3? And all the artists in Loch Ness, well, maybe not all of them, but most of them, put a piece together, and it's not big creatures or anything like that. It's they get most people that work in Loch Ness. They are an artist of some description, of many disciplines. So will this fella be going out in the shear? When he's finished, I'd love for him to go out. He doesn't have a home yet. 2 years, yeah, I thought it was 2 years. He doesn't have a home yet. He needs to be bloody finished first. Does everybody see the Andrea Botticelli music? It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. So I have a fresh block of clay, and that there is literally out of taking the wrapper off, and it is a block of clay that I put in there, and it will be really easy to cut now. And whereas if you try and sculpt with this stuff, it is a wax. If you sculpt with it straight out of the packet, you'll end up breaking your bloody knuckles and causing yourself to get arthritis. So put it in the oven. I think that oven, you get one for a bit. There's one in college, 40 quid, and that was about 60 quid. The thing with that thing, it will has two hobs, rings on top, so it's really handy for all sorts of stuff. One for doing this, the other one I use the hob for curling hair. So if you haven't seen that demo, have a look at hair punching. Ooh. Hair punching. I don't curl hair in the. I don't hair punch in the demo, but I talk about it. And what's nice with that is I'm not using something that I'm about to put food into. Now, these cups, I have been using these cups for months, and like they do get absolutely manky. But these are just, what do you call them, coffee cups. Now I do the courses during my own courses during the summer. I buy these in a box of 1,000. But these here I've been using for months. They are absolutely manky, but they work. Now be careful when you take these things out, because the rim at the bottom, you can see all the oil in it, is roasting. Absolutely roasting. Erin, are you still there? Becky, what's the story? Becky, did you actually get to America? Never heard if you did, man. I just need to plug this in. Just give me 1 sec. So lads, it'd be nice to have some tunes, so give me 1 sec. Yeah. Oh. Oh, you went to Australia, but had to come home. Ah, crap. I thought you were going to, well, no, not right that you were going, were thinking of going, I thought you were thinking of going to Canada at one stage. That's a pity. How long were you in Australia for? I'm just getting this clay prep, lads. Prep in the clay is boring. It is. And what I see students do it all the time. That they will they'll prep the clay, and then they will get into the sculpt, and then they keep on trucking and keep on working, because they get into the sculpt, and it's really nice to do that. You get into the flow, you get into the zone, and then you have to come out of the zone, because if you didn't rotate clay in and out of the oven. And it's a mortal sin to be robbing somebody else's clay out of an oven. Oh, you were there for a year, cool. You're only home 3 weeks. Well, welcome home. Jesus, you're only home with this madness. Oh. Whereabouts in Australia were you? Lads, that is hot. So be careful with this stuff. You will end up burning yourself, and I have done so. I use this fella here, and well, you can't see it. Behind you there is an oversized ear. Over here is an oversized eye. I don't know if I can show you that. Let me see. I don't know. Probably risk it. Taking a wreck and everything there. Big an avalanche. So you can see him. That oversized, I'm not going to flip the camera around to show you the ear, but it's double size. I think it's 8 to 10 times size. All the clay that's in that I melt back then. So all of this, I don't mind using. Oh, I've used a ton of clay on this. I don't mind using because I know I'm going to melt it down. But the last time I melted it down, it was from the ear and the eye. What was it doing? Oh yeah. The troll, not troll. He was the dwarf. You can see that on the Instagram page. He's out here a bunch of them now. But I was sculpting him. But I had no clay, so I melted it down out of the ear and the eye, and which is brilliant that you can do it with this stuff. But I splashed it onto my arm. Stupidly didn't have gloves on. Luckily, I wore glasses. The foresight to do that, but I didn't wear anything else, and it splashed onto my arm and went right up here, and it's like hot glue once it goes on. Can't get it off. So I did a merry dance around the prosthetic room, crossing left, right, centre. Calling myself all the things under the sun. I just want to check maybe. I had to come home with Oh, you had to come home because of Corona. Oh, that's an awful shame. You're in Melbourne, lovely. Well, that's an awful shame you had to come home because of this. I'm glad you're safe though. Need to check a measurement that. Now, people were asking about, measurements and scale and stuff like that. That one is life size. So this is 2 to 1, so it's twice that size. So when I measure off that, I just multiply it by 2. So that's 9, so it's 18. And yeah, there. So there's a muscle right there. That's just the big one on top. So that's a big massive muscle. And this one, this huge one here, you can see it wrap around and then go up into this up into here. But that part there, I don't know if you see it. That part there is one I'm doing here. So lads, I'm going to work on this for a wee while longer. Thank you everybody for joining in. Instagram, we're nearly finished. But if you want to get a chance to win those tools, have a look at the post and that I put up. It's all on live. Loads of people are trying to enter it. I'm going to do the results next Wednesday. Same time next Wednesday. So if you want in for a chance, I've made them. They work, lads. They absolutely do. I love them, and that's mostly how I've sculpted this fella with those little clues. So if in for a chance, follow the post, do what I ask you to do, and I will announce the winners next Wednesday. Lads, I'm not announcing them. My kids are announcing them. So there'll be no preferential treatment at all, and they're going to take a role very, very seriously. So thanks to everybody on Instagram for joining in. I'm going to continue on a little bit longer here, so if you want to hop over to Facebook, please do. I just want to get this sorted out, but I'm very grateful for people turning up, lads. I know that some people enjoy, the routine of a Wednesday and a Saturday at 3 o'clock. So do I. So I am grateful that people turn up and have a go at that competition, see if you win some tools. So thank you for tuning in. Slow on Instagram. See, Mike. Yeah, I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to try and do this. See if that works. I've never done it before. Now, I think I might be back on Instagram. I'm not too sure, but I thought I'd have a go with that. To just see. I'm going to spend about half an hour more on this. I think I'm back. Katia. So she told Katia, I did it. Hopefully I'm back on Instagram. I think I am. Lads, learning, bucket loads. So that there is that there. So I have to build that up. So that muscle that I'm trying to build up there, which is that big massive one there, you can see it's down here. It needs to be up there. That's how much I'm out. So, Katia, thank you very much for telling me about being able to. I thought I just an hour, which I do on Instagram, but I can. Once it goes off, I can hop back into it again fairly easily. So, thank you for that. Fanula, what's the story? So, I'm going to build this up. No, it looked wrong, but I'm going to build it up to the height that it needs to be reference-wise. If you go with the reference, lads, trust the reference. That's why. That's the challenge. Is trying to get a replica of Beckett. But if I don't trust what Beckett looks like and the reference, that I spent a while doing these big images I've put into Photoshop and got them out. If I don't trust them, then waste my time doing it. Natasha, Jesus, how's it going with you? This muscle that I'm trying to get here. I know it's probably. I know you're looking at the back of his head, and it's not very exciting. But hey, get it done. Paddy Hine, you flipped over. Are you addicted or what? That's awesome. It worked out. I'm. Yeah, right. Kathy is saying here, lads, that I'm officially an Instagram influencer. I think I am not too sure about that. So. You're funny. You're very funny. But what is gas? I don't know if Rebecca's here. But what is gas when you actually put yourself out there? Now, nobody might end up watching this. I can see there are a few people watching it. But what's gas is when you actually do this type of thing, that people get in contact with you and say, like newspapers and stuff. Why are you doing this? And the simple answer is I want to and I need to. Influencer, don't. You're a dirty turncoat. Yes, you are, Paddy. Yes, you are. Every time Instagram goes off, now I figured out how to, thanks to Katia, how to keep it going. I'm going to keep on going for a wee while, for about half an hour. And then I'm going into that sun. Paddy hops over to Facebook. You're addicted to scoping, Paddy. Could be worse. So this is actually starting to look anatomically correct, whereas this morning I was wrecking my head going, I don't know, I'm going live in a couple of hours and this looks shocking. Absolutely shocking. not anatomically correct. Tinfoil cracks all over the place. But as I said, trust in the reference. That does take time. And it's not ready yet either. Natasha, what's the story with you? Where are you at the minute? I haven't seen you in ages. Okay, 25 minutes more, lads. Probably get when you get into this. Now that's not right there. I'm gonna have to work at that. But this is beginning to feel right. And when it begins to feel right, I don't want to leave it. Because I tell you, it wasn't fucking right this morning. So there's a few new people there, and that I see. Gas. There's people keep joining all the time. That I don't know who they are. So make yourself known. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you're from. If you don't know, I'm from Ireland, Galway, Spiddle, and I think next stop from Spiddle is New York. And for the new people that might not know, there is a competition out there, and if you want to join in, it's for a set of sculpting tools that I've made. Just getting this clear ready. And it's the sculpting tools I use all the time. So if you want to get in for a chance to win, look at the post. So lads, I'm going to spend. What I'm trying to do is build up this this muscle around the neck, around the collarbone. Still a bit big at the back. I'm not really worried about that because I can just lob that off. But I want to get once I get one thing right, then that will just move into everything else. So you can see me all the time. I am replenishing the clay. Now I can leave it in the oven once it's finished, but keep replenishing the clay because once you get into the zone, you don't want to without the clay. Yeah. Is this the figure you're talking about? So, what I'm trying to get is that muscle up there. I'm trying to get collarbone as well, and trying to get this muscle here as well. No, this doesn't have flesh on it, flesh or skin on it, but it's very handy. Once you can get the stuff that's underneath right, the stuff that's on top, but that will just happen. I think I got that in Amazon. It was so cheap. It was about, I think it was even about €10. Very handy. And the big white one in the background. That one. Can you see it? It's bleached. But the one in the background, I make my own now. But I have a few of these and I get them from Neil's Materials. I hope that answers your question. Jessica, what's the story? That is hot. So as I'm going to do 20 minutes, a little bit less of this, and then I'm going outside. When it is warm, or as it is now, hot, fantastic, just to lash it on, and it's like nice and creamy, nice and soft, and good really, really quickly. Is that Mohammed? How are you, Mohammed? Moran Howley, what's the story? Hold on a second. So Natasha, you moved to the UK in a posh town. Cool. You busy? What's the story, Jack? It's surprising how big that nestle is. A little while yourself. So I am nearing finishing, well not finishing, but finishing today. I actually was sculpting all of this, and that neck is too big for me to pare that back, and it has to go in there a bit. That's okay. I was at this at 7:30 this morning. So I've seen enough of Beckett today, and he wasn't being very cooperative this morning with his neck. The bean tree. How's it going, the bean tree? Lads, I have missed your curry. Oh my god. Lads, if you don't know the bean tree, they're in the market in Galway. Now, the market, I haven't been in the market because it's mentalness, and they make the best pea curry that I've ever tasted. It's just, oh, gorgeousness. So, hello to the bean tree. Thanks, Connor. So, we have 17 minutes. I'm going to shoot off in 17 minutes, lads. I know this isn't very exciting because you're seeing back his head all the time. But what I'm trying to do is get this shoulder blade done, get this collar blade in, collarbone, shoulder blade. Actually, not the blade, it's the muscle. It's the shoulder muscle, it's that massive muscle. That's something I wouldn't mind learning, is the anatomy, names of things. Louise, what's the story? Right, this here feels, well, it might actually be going out here a little bit more as well. This feels like it's in a right, getting to the right place. That at the back is not. And what I've tried to do is get the front bit semi right. Getting into the field next door to right, and I know the back's not, so I'm going to work on that. I'm a little bit fresher. So I've been scoping this for a long time today. Louise, how's it going? So he's just still making wrinkles. Well, I would love to be able to say that I'm making wrinkles, but I haven't got to that stage yet, and it's going to be. Well, I've done a little bit on the face, but it's going to be a little while before I do that. That's the problem when you actually decide to do something. Oh, again, my zester. Be careful when you're doing this. When you're doing it in tinfoil, you go through it. With that, it's the handy thing with tinfoil. I'm going to just push that back up again. And that is the handy thing with doing this in tinfoil. Plus, I don't use that much clay, and it remains relatively light. Relatively. Yeah. This is huge. Louise, good one. What's the story? Haven't seen you in ages. Well, Jesus, excuse me when I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself all the last hour and a half. Carolina, how's it going? So, lads, I'm coming in. I'm getting tired now. I don't want to go outside. I'm getting thirsty. And this room is. I have a heater on here, as well as it's absolutely fucking roasting outside. So I'm going to do a few more minutes, and then I'm going to call it a day. And thank you all very much for joining in. It's nice to do this with some people and with people I haven't talked to in ages. How are you, Carolina? That smaller pick out back in the bag is making fierce contact eyes with you. In fairness, like, you deserve it. Like, in fairness, I can't do anything about the. What do you want me to do? Take it off the wall? So I'm gonna finish up, lads, and thank you very much for joining in. As I said, if you look at the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, there's a competition out there for people they can win the sculpting tools. I've made them, and and the majority of the sculpting tools that I've used on this are those tools. So there's 3 loop tools, and in each loop tool you have 2 different loops. So essentially you have 6 tools. So it's 6 tools in 3. And if you're in for a chance to win it, follow the instructions, and I'll be announcing it next Wednesday. I'm going to get my kids to pick the name, which they are extremely excited about. You're not. No. You're loving the way he's looking at you. Okay. Sorry. That's a bit odd. Okay. Now I know that there I need to go in on that, but I can't because the armature is in the way. That's okay. And there's a big lump of tinfoil there. But this is getting right. And cool. So I'm going to finish this bit off. And head inside. When you have one of those lads, make sure you fucking switch it off. I didn't do that the other day. And in the room was mostly. Yeah, I'm getting tired now. It's amazing the amount of this that if you thought about it, the weight that you shift around, and like this is soft, because of the heat. Whereas I've shifted around I don't know how many kilos today. And I've been doing this since about 7:30. So, I think that's me. Lads, thanks very much for joining in. And as I said, what I'm thinking of doing, well, there's the competition which I've said, so you could win some free tools, and these here, those there, and they're ones that well, I haven't used these. These are brand new. But what I was thinking of doing was instead of maybe having a break from Beckett for a wee while, and if people were interested, I will do a PDF of a front profile, a side profile, 2 side profiles of a skull, and do a 3/4 skull. And so if you're interested in doing that, I'm not too sure how we'll organize that or sort that out, but I'll sort that out. But if you're interested in that, send me a message, tell me that you're interested, and we'll sort it out. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I'll see you on what day is it? Wednesday. I'll see you on Saturday. Slán, lads. Yeah, I forget how to get out of the live. Oh, there it is. And YouTube, Slán as well.